Hello everybody, boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, dudes, dudettes. This is Sergey Baklykov and you're watching Baklykov Live, 20th of March 2021. This is Saturday. This is the beginning of the evening. The local time 5:32 p.m. and this is the beginning of kinda long evening today, because after this live stream there also will be another live stream. Now the live stream from Kupchino, the historic district of St. Petersburg, which is mostly developed in 1960s, 1970s. Well, yesterday I went to Moskovsky district, which is mostly 1940s, 1950s. So this is definitely a different flavor here. Here is nothing about Stalinist architecture, but 1960s. This is already a Khrushchev, Nikita Khrushchev era. Nikita Khrushchev in 1960s, right after Stalin. Actually, he was the general secretary of a communistic party of the Soviet Union. Yes, that's how actually we named the president. Back in those days, there wasn't the president. The highest position in the government was the general secretary of the party. Okay, let's get it started. So now Kupchino, and later we will go to Annenkirche, the Lutheran Church of Saint Anna. There we will listen to the Olympic Orchestra, Flamenco, the very best hits of Spanish music. Okay, I'm beginning my way from the intersection of Bukharestskaya and Salova Street. This is the building of the Academy of Transportation or Transportation Technologies. You see that? You see that carving? Bas relief. Waiting for the green light. Well, this is a modern mall. Most of the buildings, as administrative buildings, as residential buildings here, are from 1960s, 1970s. But now, whenever they have a spot to construct the new buildings, they do that. Like, let's say here, and here you see the mall. I think the mall was built here like maximum 10 years ago. It's called Continent. Continent. There's a huge center for kids to play, and clothes stores, food court. Petroleum station. Yes, I always say petroleum station because I already told you before that here in Russia, when you say gas station, people understand this is a station where you can buy the gas, not petroleum. Also here in Russia we call it AZS, Автозаправочная станция. So this is abbreviation AZS for Автозаправочная станция, and it means like auto filling station. look, the price seemed up a little bit. Just a couple days ago it was 48.18, now it's 49.16 for just 95 octane petrol. There's the cemetery. You see that? That forest. Bukharestskaya street, one of the central streets in Kupchino district. By the way, here in Kupchino, growing up, Dmitry Medvedev. He was the president of Russia in a period from 2012 to 2016. And also for a long time, then he was a prime minister of Russia. Bukharestskaya. Many streets here actually named after the cities of an eastern bloc. Bukharestskaya, Budapeshtskaya, Dunayский проспект. So now we're going deeper and deeper to Kupchino district. I am starting from metro station, the area of metro station Bukharestskaya. You know, the entrance to Bukharestskaya metro station is inside. I'm actually going like from the north of Kupchino to the south. So today, are you ready to feel the 1960s Soviet flavor after the flavor of 1950s yesterday? Also, I hope yesterday you enjoyed the jazz vibes. There was an awesome jazz vibes yesterday in the Head Classic Jazz Music Bar. Cajun Guy 1950. Do we have a choice? Well, of course. On YouTube there's like millions of videos uploaded every hour. Okay, this is Shell petroleum station with KFC inside of it. So it's comfortable. So you're coming for petroleum and go to eat some KFC. Kubatura. Now this is Kubatura. It's a huge furniture mall. Kubatura or Cubatura. Okay. Now deeper and deeper to Kupchino. Until 1960s, Kupchino was a village, and the village was called Kupchina. Bukhareskaya Street is a typical Soviet-style avenue. Here is a wide sidewalk, pedestrian sidewalk, the road which is separated with the tram lines. It's not a lot of traffic. This is Saturday. Usually when I begin to film at 5:30, a lot of traffic. It's a rush hour, but it's okay today. Christina Kazuba likes seeing the electric tram. Yes, St. Petersburg still having one of the most developed tram networks in the world. So now this is Kupchina. Here mostly 5-storied so-called Khrushchevkas, Khrushchev-style apartment buildings, residential buildings, and 9-floor buildings, which looks more utilitarian, if I can say so. than the Stalinist architecture. When Nikita Khrushchev came to the authority of the Soviet Union after Stalin, he literally started to fight against the extras in architecture. He thought here in the Soviet Union was as many people without their own property, without their own apartments, that they have to increase the tempos of the construction. And in order to increase the tempo of the construction, they had to construct the simpler buildings. So not as monumental and festive, if I can say so, as so-called Stalinist residential buildings. And really, like a good brigade of the builders could construct the whole residential building for only 1 week. Also, they are considered to be like those 5-story Khrushchevka buildings, considered to be like a temporary buildings. It's like to provide maximum of people with their own apartments. Yeah, maybe not so good apartments, but however, their own apartments. And then, when people will be provided with at least any kind of their own private apartments, to start making something better. But as we know, there is nothing more constant, more permanent than temporary, and they are still active. People are still living in Khrushchevka buildings, and they are still in a good shape. However, let's say in Moscow, they already started to demolish some of those 5-story buildings. We will see them today yet. Because in Moscow, with the Moscow prices, absolutely crazy prices for real estate, it just economically makes sense. It makes sense to demolish those Khrushchevka apartments, Khrushchevka buildings. So it's like the developer making the math and understand that, okay, so they will pay the compensation to all the residents, and on that place they will construct another building, modern building. They will sell the apartments and they will still be in profit. And such a 9th-floor buildings, mostly already 1970s. When you look up to Kupchina, it definitely will give you 1960s, 1970s flavor. here it is. That's how is the typical 5-storied Khrushchevka buildings looks like. There it is. Okay, they can be constructed as with a bricks, as with just a panels. We definitely will get back to a closer look of Khrushchev residential buildings. People simply call them Khrushchevka. Yes, this area down near Pulkovo Airport. Oh, yes, about that. Actually, it goes parallel to Moskovsky district. Well, I myself definitely prefer 1950s architecture more. Because this architecture is like, it's pretty functional. Look, it's pretty functional. I mean, people are having their apartments, private apartments with all their own stuff, the central heating, central heating. They have a radiators, the water radiators. So all these apartments are heated with the water that goes into their radiators, and that water getting boiled in a boiler room. So it's called the central system of heating. So they have the bathrooms, the toilets, the kitchens. So it's private apartments. So yeah, from outside it looks not as monumental and festive like the Stalinist empire, neoclassicism. But I mean, it's functional. It's functional, but just not as festive as 1950s architecture from outside. So this is Международная metro station, international. Radiator heat is supposed to be the best. Oh yes, so it's just the water. It's just a hot water which is in your pipes, which is in your radiator, and also you can control, actually you can control the level of heating. You can turn the tumbler, how to say, tumbler, and that's it. So there's the entrance to the metro station. Maybe you guys already guessed. When we walk Bukharestskaya streets, we duplicate the route of a violet line of St. Petersburg Metro. Here is the mall, El Dorado. That's a chain of electronic stores. McDonald's, Eurasia restaurant, Bukvayets, which is letter eater. Eurasia is the restaurants of Asian and European cuisine. I'm waiting for my green light. Yeah, sometimes it takes too long to wait. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's step aside a little bit from Bucharest. Let's go deeper. It's windy today. Hey, that's what I hate the most. Fortunately, not so many windy days in St. Petersburg. Well, I told you that these days, whenever the developers are finding the spots to construct the new buildings, the new residential buildings, they do that. So this is like about 15-20 years old buildings. Seems like the beginning of 2000s. Weather just like Canada. Yes, Russia has a lot in common with Canada. And first of all, the hockey, the love to the hockey. I'm going in direction of so-called apple garden. It's awesome. It's awesome in the summertime. By the way, actually now Kupchina looks kind of gray, but believe me, in the summertime, you can say that this is like pretty green district. let's say look how many trees is here. I actually, when people like my friends, just my buddies, asking me what I can recommend in terms of real estate in St. Petersburg, when they don't have enough of money to go to the historic city center, I recommend Kupchino, because Kupchino relatively not too far away from the historic city center, actually goes next to it. Here is a lot of metro stations, and here is a lot of trees in the summertime, and it's pretty developed in terms of like different malls, places to go, the sections for kids. Yeah, in the summertime it's absolutely different look. And we're getting back here in different times. Political advertisement. Oksana Dmitriev. Партия роста за Петербург. The party of growth. That's how it's called. Yeah, friggin' deputies. You see them all before the election. But then it's not that easy to find them. Okay, this is a paid parking. Just an area behind the fence with the security guards who are looking for the cars. You know, in the beginning of 1990 of St. Petersburg, not anymore. I think that's one of the main reasons why the criminal rates, crime rates, fallen down in Russia, because, for example, if talk about the street crime, it makes no sense. Because nowadays, people keep their money just on their cards, and far not everyone have an expensive phone, for example, with them in a pocket. And even if you have an expensive phone, like let's say iPhone, you can't unlock it. So nobody wants to have a problem with the law just because of like maybe I don't know, $50, $100. Also a lot of cameras, a lot of street cameras. Also, not to mention that the economy of Russia growing up extremely. So when you will come to Kupchino, you definitely can walk here absolutely free, relaxed. You're not gonna have problems here. At least in the central streets during the daylight, no way. And even statistically, it's far not the most criminal area of Russia anymore. Audio-lag. I don't know, yesterday people told me a lot about audio lag. Then I rewatched the most of my live stream from yesterday. There wasn't any lags and there wasn't any unsyncs. Everything was synchronized. I mean my speech was absolutely synchronized. So I don't know what's the problem during the actual live stream, but when I watch the repeat, everything is okay. Well, these days, let me remind you that since I switched to the new channel, this is my new channel, as you know, I now have to use Prism Live Studio application for making the live stream, which is a third-party application. I still can't make live stream from the official YouTube app. I'm not sure why is this limitation, why is this restriction. If you can, however, stream with a third-party application, I'm not sure. And YouTube says that I need 1,000 subscribers to be able to stream from my phone. Well, I have 1,000 subscribers, and I still can't. So this is an apple garden, an absolutely green, awesome park, which now looks not that green at all. It's so terrific to understand in a month from now everything will be different here, because usually in the end of April it's the real spring here, the real spring. Pretty good park. Which opens up its potential in the summertime. And now, dudes, let's get inside of the yards. So look, if you will look at the planning of Kupchina, if you will open up the map, you will see that actually it's a typical old Soviet planning where the districts is it's like a chain of the blocks of the buildings, where inside of every block of the buildings there's the residential area, like the playground for kids, parking lots, schools, and kindergartens. The idea was to have everything, for people to have everything in a one-step distance. So it's pretty close. People don't have to walk a lot. Garden, school, grocery store, police station, everything close. Okay, getting inside. Getting inside of an actual yard. Getting inside of one of such a blocks. So inside of the block here is the school. I'm getting into the territory of the school. Well, I hope it's okay for me to film here. Football field. Such a simple building. It's a school, but it carries its function. In 1960s, just 15 years after the war, the government had to think about being functional, not too aesthetic, unfortunately. So we're now right inside of the block. So I'm not just walking along the Bukharesk street, but now got into the actual neighborhood. The area for the workout, the street workout. this is such a parts of the school. It's usually the sport hall, sport area. Okay, so this is it. And if you will now look at the map of Kupchino, really look, it's all the blocks. Inside of the blocks, you will see usually the buildings which looks like H letter or something. It's usually the schools, and you will see that schools and kindergartens are actually in each of such a blocks. It's pretty comfortable. I myself studied in just a school which was next door. Okay, now this is a very typical Khrushchev style 5-storied residential buildings. Yes, here they are. Still in a good shape. Even though initially they were considered like a temporary place for living. Well, they are made of just a nice concrete. It's not made of woods. Also, capital maintenance. So exactly these Khrushchevkas are made of panels. Some of Khrushchevka buildings made of bricks. These ones are made of panels. I guess the panels are faster to build. Look, because you're just how to say, you're just constructed like a constructor, like, you know, constructor for kids. Frigging ravens. There we go. That's already more like 1970s. 9-storied buildings. Typical 9-storied buildings. This one made of bricks. And that one made of panels. So there we go. You see, just like maybe 200 meters, and already another school in the yard. In the next block. Look, some people reserve parking lots with such a self-made metallic sticks. They put it down the ground, and here is a rope. So that's how they reserve their parking lots. It's actually illegal. And from time to time, if any of the neighbors living in the same building in this area not ready with this, they are sending the complaint, and the management company coming and demolish it. Also, sometimes people are just buying like a very cheap old cars, and they have that car only that to keep the place. So when they go at work, it's out of parking lots and park an old car on a parking lot. So that's how the parking lot is occupied during they are at work. You got it? Belgradskaya Street. Well, as I told you, many streets here named after the cities of Eastern Bloc: Budapestskaya, Bucharestskaya, Belgradskaya. Okay, now here is a kindergarten. The idea of the Soviet government was to have everything around. Self-contained. Yep. A department store, grocery store, laundry, kindergarten, the school, everything around at a step distance or walking distance. Well, literally in translation from Russian language is a step, distance, шаговая доступность, step accessibility. Another school. I hope there is the entrance, I mean the exit. Yeah, it must be the school. Let's check it out. I mean, I want to make sure what it is. Ah, okay. So it's not a school, but this is a center for creativity and education. It's full of different sections. Like you see, dancing, drawing, car, I don't know, car for kids. Anyway. So this is what we call an additional education. When children, if they want, can getting an additional education in the fields they are interested in. It can be robot techniques or sports or mathematics or maybe painting, whatever. And this is not a necessary education. You may not study here. That's just if you want. Аквадискотека, 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 аквадискотека. Царь среди досуга, здесь мне будет супер. Meanwhile, another kindergarten. Look, let me tell you that Kupchina is actually a pretty nice area to live. It's close to the historic city center, and yes, like this is 1960s, 1970s mostly, the buildings, right? But look, they are pretty functional. So yes, they are constructed like 50 years ago. But come on, what will you do with it now? I mean, you can't refresh it all right away. And they are pretty functional. Okay, just got to the next block and look again, the school again. A lot of ravens today here. What the hell? Is it mean the spring is coming? Actually, this is not a school. This is kindergarten. You can say this because like too many playgrounds. If there's too many playgrounds like this, that's a kindergarten. And now we will get to the big street, Проспект Славы, the Glory Avenue. Okay, dudes. Now we'll get to the Glory Avenue. Or Avenue of Glory, Glory Avenue. Not sure how to say right. Glory Avenue or Avenue of Glory. And look, traditionally here in Kupchina, I need to drink cappuccino. Cappuccino in Kupchino. That sounds exciting, right? Okay, so inside of the blocks there are the schools and kindergartens, and usually along these streets, like the central streets, on the first floors of the buildings, here is the stores, barber shops, beauty salons like Magnit. This is the biggest chain of grocery supermarkets. The flowers. There's karaoke bar. The restaurant, which is called Olis Club. Oh, cappuccino, look, cappuccino to go. That's exactly what I need. Cappuccino in Kupchino. Maybe I never went through the pandemic time. Okay. Anyway, I don't think that I'm gonna have problem to find the coffee here. Of Kupchino. And now, guess what is there? Guess what it is? McDonald's in Cupertino, standalone McDonald's. Okay, Glory Avenue, проспект Славы. The best panoramas of Cupertino here. Россия. Cupertino, the motherland of Dmitry Medvedev, the president of Russia in 2012-2016 years. So today you guys getting 1960s, 1970s flavor. Okay, it's time to finish this live stream and we now from here from 1950s, 1960s, 1970s flavor. We'll get back to 18th, 19th century. After this live stream, welcome to the next one, which will be in about like an hour from now. We will go to Annenkirche, the first Lutheran church in St. Petersburg, constructed yet in 1775. There will be the concerts. We will listen to the best hits of Spanish music. I just will get cappuccino there, cappuccino in Cupertino. and immediately will call taxi and I will go to Annenkirche. So see you in like 40 minutes. In order to find that live stream, just go to my channel. There you will see in the list of upcoming live streams the link to already pre-created live stream. It's called Annenkirche something, like flamenco, Spanish music concerts. Okay, dude, so see you in like 40 minutes from now in another live stream. Live today from Kupchino, St. Petersburg. Kupchino, the center of the universe. By the way, Billy Novik, the leader of Billy's band and the founder of the Head Bar, actually also from Kupchino. And Grigory Perelman, who, proved the Poincaré theorem. He also lives here in Kupchino. He got Nobel Prize, which he never taken off. Yeah, he resisted from $1 million. Grigory Perelman. So I'm telling you, Kupchino is the center of the universe. Okay, dudes, see you in the end. Traditional panorama. Frank GS, Felix, Rhonda Price, Swelling Sausage, Great Gatsby, Shirley Fard, Thing, Cajun Guy 1950, Joe Hernandez, Jada Stan, Great Gatsby, Zenovia, Nightly Echoes, Big Up Boo. See you all in like, 40 minutes. We are getting back to our favorite 19th century. From Kupchino district, St. Petersburg, Russia, at the center of universe. With love.